Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a beer from Brooklyn Brewery. This is their new beer. This is an unfiltered Pilsner from them. But before I even do the review, I'm going to give you a really fun story. So if you want to skip the story, just skip ahead and check into the review. So I was just literally bartending tonight, and I actually bought this beer before I was bartending tonight, so I thought I'd review this. So I was bartending, a gentleman, probably in his 50s and 60s, just sitting at the bar, chatting around, and breweries, New York came up, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, actually, when was the last time a brewery in Manhattan was open? And I was like, yeah, well, there's one opening, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it must have been Manhattan Brewing. My old friend Garrett, who now works at Brooklyn Brewery, used to live there, works there. And I was like, wait, Garrett? He's like, yeah, Brooklyn Brewery. I was like, wait, you know Garrett Oliver, as in the Garrett, one of the most famous people in craft beer, or just in the beer industry, one of the most recognizable people, one of the spokesmen for craft beer. And he's like, yeah, Garrett, he's an old friend of mine. I've known him since '82. So we start talking, and he's like, yeah, actually, Garrett actually put me in his book. So in Brewmaster's Table, which is the most important beer in book in the world of food and beer pairing, generational book for us. And he's like, yeah, he actually put me in the book as an acknowledgement for, I actually took him, because they actually met in England, I took him to his first pub, and a lot of the inspiration of where Garrett pulls his food pairings and his romanticization of British brewing comes from being in Britain, and this gentleman, John, had introduced him to that. So I was like, shoot, I'll have to go home and look at this. And then I realized, oh wait, actually at the bar, we have Brewmaster Table. So in the acknowledgements, you'll see it on, if you have the new edition, acknowledgements, on that first page, on the bottom, it'll say John Mildy. And he's a gentleman that actually, introduced him to the British pub, and also helped him buy his first homebrew kit. And then that happened in, I guess, 1982. Garrett Oliver starts working for Manhattan Brewing. He becomes the head brewer at Brooklyn Brewery in, I think, 92 or something like that. And then whole future of his career and the excitement of Brooklyn Brewery and crazy stuff. So small world, yeah. And he actually texted Garrett Oliver a picture of the book and all that stuff while I was sitting at the bar. Garrett was apparently in Bangkok or something. They're just like old school OG good friends. It's a really fun story. Anyway. You got a story time from me, but now you get a beer review too. Get a 2-in-1 in this video. Come on, guys. It's just unbelievable you guys get from me. 2-in-1. So this is a, small, 4.3% Pilsner. Unfiltered, beautiful. Yeah, unfiltered Pilsner comes in a light to, actually not that light. It's like a light to medium gold color. It's an off-white head. I definitely smell the sulfur bursting out of the glass. A really nice, traditional Pilsner should do that, and I get a good waft as I was pouring, as I was talking. So nice sulfur note coming through. Yeah. And then underneath that, interesting. Are they, yeah. I get a little bit Pilsner Quell in here. So there might be a little bit diacetyl production, so maybe they're going for a Czech style pills. They're stressing the yeast a little bit. Oh, no, actually, it might not be from stressing the yeast. Sorry. It might be just from certain choice of yeast strain, different kind of lagering techniques. But yeah, I'm getting sulfur. I had an initial hit of sulfur, but I'm also getting that little bit of push of maybe a bit more malt. But it just immediately reminds me of Pilsner Quell, probably a little bit lighter, but I definitely get a little bit diacetyl. That buttery quality. So it's quite nice. Cheers. Nice and spritzy up front. Yeah, I can definitely tell there's possibly a little bit of diacetyl in here. Quite nice. It's a lot less, there's a little bit of caramel malt in Pilsner Quell. This is a little bit more bouncy of a version. It's definitely not as snappy as German Pils. So sort of like a Pilsner Quell light, even though this is 4.3%. Possibly using less Pilsner malt here. But yeah, wow. Definitely a lot of that signature kind of character I get from Pilsner Quell. This is sort of definitely an homage to that beer, I must imagine. A beautiful grassy thing up front. Nice and clean. Get a soft water profile. It's a crusher. A lot of these Pilsners these days I have a lot of denseness. Well, not quite dense. Pilsner malt is as light as you can get, but it shows malt so much. This is really about water profile, yeast expression, and that yeast expresses not only sulfur on the nose, but that diacetyl for me at a very low volume, which is nice. And a little bit of hoppiness, you know. I think Pilsner can shine in different manners, and we have the 4 ingredients showing different things. Here for me, it's the water showing through, the hops, the yeast, and then the malt. And the malt is really just like hidden away, being like whisper, like cracker thin. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a crusher. 4.3% does a great job with this beer. It has a little bit less kind of oomph that a lot of Pilsners have, where they're just like big, and the malt just really tends to have character. This does have malt character, but really it's allowing the water to come in and just wash away everything. Very nice. As for rating, I really like this one. And just wait a little bit of bitterness as I'm chopping in. It's just very clean and crisp. Comes in with bitterness, but this is more clean. It's just water is really what I taste on this one in a good way. This one for me is getting a 89. Great stuff. This is Brooklyn Unfiltered Pilsner. Highly recommend you check this one out. This could be a great crusher in the summer or spring when it comes in. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.